Let's break down the Cleveland Browns 2021 NFL Draft Class player by player quickly, and then more in-depth analysis. Greg Newsome in round 1. I would argue one of the biggest steals, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in the 2nd. The fastest player in this year's draft, Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn in the 3rd. James Hudson, the offensive tackle out of Cincinnati in the 4th. Tommy Togiai, the Buckeye, gets to go play for Cleveland. He was also a 4th-round pick. Tony Fields, formerly of Arizona, transferred to West Virginia. He's a 5th-rounder. Richard LeCounte, round 5, number 169. And then Demetric Felton, the 8th of the Browns picks in this year's draft. Before we break it down more in depth, I want you guys to grade this for me. How do you think the Browns did? A, B, C, D, or F? Get your votes in the comment section right now as to how you think the Browns did in the 2021 NFL Draft. As for me, I'm giving them an A-. I absolutely love what the Browns did this year. Not quite perfect across the board, a couple picks I didn't like, but overall, a very strong class by Cleveland. Let's begin with Greg Newsome, who was a top 20 player in this year's class from a round 1/round 2 grade, and that's exactly where he ended up going. I had thought the Browns were looking to add another corner, given Greedy Williams' medical issues right now and some concerns there. Newsome, I think an outside corner in today's NFL, played a lot of off coverage for Northwestern. Look at that completion percentage. Teams did not throw at him, and when they did not have success. Period. I thought he had a fantastic senior year. History of injury problems is why he fell outside the top 20, but this is a really good pick here by the Cleveland Browns, getting Greg Newsome in the 1st round. Then they found a way to get one of my favorite players in this year's class, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, a.k.a. Joke. 14th overall for me. He fell because of a late diagnosed heart issue. It was eventually cleared, but it did help contribute to the slide for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah all the way down to round 2, pick number 52. He is a fantastic fit for what the Browns want to do on defense. They don't often invest early in a linebacker, but I think they had a pretty early grade on Owusu-Koramoah. So when he fell to round 2, they found a way to go get him. I love that pick. This one right here, I thought was one of the best picks in the entire NFL draft. Now for the one I didn't like as much, Anthony Schwartz. And I get it, you cannot teach the legitimate Olympic-level speed that Anthony Schwartz has. 4.25 40 is legitimate, and it wasn't even all that juiced as much as Juice Pro Days were a thing this year. The problem for me, he's not a good football player yet, and he's going to be a gadget guy early in his NFL career. Now, maybe just because Bo Nix is a bad quarterback at Auburn, but despite his speed, Anthony Schwartz was not productive deep downfield. I don't know. He wasn't even a return man, despite his speed. So maybe Auburn couldn't use him right. I wonder if he's just not a good football player, at least not yet. I like this pick here. James Hudson out of Cincinnati was a defensive lineman to begin his career at Michigan, and then moved to offensive tackle and played great this year for Cincinnati. Arm length is a red flag. It's below 33 inches. Did not test that well at his pro day. That's why Hudson falls from maybe in a top 100, top 80 guy to pick number 110 in the end. But whether it's at guard or tackle, I like this investment here by Cleveland. I loved watching Tommy Togiai, and I know his production does not match a top 100 grade like I gave him, but to get him all the way down here at number 132, how do you not love it? You cut Sheldon Richardson, you find a kind of hybrid 1 technique, 3 technique, can do a little bit of both there. I'm going to try and play him with a 3 technique. I think we'll have more success there in the NFL after being more of a 1 tech for the Ohio State Buckeyes football team. I love the value here for Tommy Togiai in round 4. Then in round 5, Tony Fields, the pick here out of West Virginia. He began his career at Arizona, started a bunch there, transfers to West Virginia, and immediately became that team's signal caller. That's pretty rare for a year 1 transfer. I had a 5th round grade on him, number 154 overall, so I almost nailed it from that perspective. I like this pick by the Cleveland to get some more depth at that linebacker spot. I didn't think Fields was like an elite player by any stretch of the imagination, but this is about where I thought he should have gone. Richard LeCounte now, the safety out of Georgia. Unfortunately, this was a big reach on my board, and it comes down to, in the end, athletic testing. Folks, you can't be 196 and run a 4.7 640, and which is probably a little bit juiced as well. LeCounte was successful at Georgia, offered plenty of good on-field moments, but athletic testing matters. And I know there was the scary accident involving his dirt bike. He got hit by a car, was knocked unconscious, but the athletic ability, I didn't like that pick from Cleveland. Demetric Felton, meanwhile, was a very intriguing pick. I don't know if he's going to be a receiver or a running back in the NFL. I grouped him with the backs myself, but I think most people view him as a receiver. Did not test well athletically, but again, the film I thought was pretty intriguing. A good Senior Bowl. I liked this pick a lot by Cleveland. I had a 4th/5th round grade on Felton. He was my number 149 player. Good value here on day 3. Now, you guys already know my answer to this question. My favorite draft pick was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and it's not even that close. But get your votes in for yourselves here. Who was your favorite draft pick by the Cleveland Browns?